You know how you're in a relationship with somebody and he sees you, he hears you, but he doesn't really see you and hear you. It's kind of like that. Like, he sees that you're a human being, right? But he doesn't cater to what you need and what you need from him and the help you need or the support that you need from this person. It's kind of like that when it comes to the whole wide world. Like, being a black woman, it's like that, you know? They see us, they hear us, but they don't really care to change anything, you know? Do y'all feel me on that one? Because I honestly feel like that's how it's been since day one, you know? Where are you? Hi guys, it's your girl Shakira and I am back with another video. Did y'all expect to see my face again, honey? But it's happening. So, this is going to be part 2 of how I feel in the knitting community as a black woman. Because I know that's a big topic on my page right now. It's getting the most views. So I wanted to do a part 2 any old way because I feel like I didn't really say enough, you know? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? So yes, guys, I think the last thing I said was I feel very weird with like people who don't look like me following me. So like, as me growing up as a black woman, it was always like not really a thing to be around them and not really a thing to be friends with them because they would just like do funny stuff or be weird and stuff like that, because like the way they grew up and the way black people grew up is very, very different. It doesn't even like, we don't even like cross paths with like how we were brought up into this world. Even from starting young, the parents are teaching these little kids to like stay away from brown skin, dark skin. Like, even if you're black in general and you're light skinned, they say stay away from you, you know? But I know all white folks are not like this, but majority of them are. That's why I said I felt so out of place with them following me, because I thought they just like wanted to be like weird and like competition kinda, you know? And it's so crazy that all of the knitting patterns that I do like follow and make and post, it's mainly like only white people that I do, but I only really do this girl. Her name is Cara. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who she is. I think she's Filipino. I don't know, but she does look Filipino to me. She could be. She doesn't look Asian. She doesn't look Japanese. She looks Filipino in my eyes. Yeah. I can always ask her because she always writes me back on Instagram. So, oh yeah, if you haven't seen my other recent video, I had to make a new Instagram because my other original Instagram got hacked. So I'll put my new Instagram name here. Now, I don't know how to do all this jazzy stuff yet on Final Cut Pro when you put the Instagram name and it just pops up. Yeah, we gotta learn that, okay? So, right now, this is my test knit pattern of what I mentioned in my recent video that I haven't posted yet, but it's definitely gonna be posted today. Probably like around, I could start it up now. So yes, guys, this is the 2 colors that I have chosen, and yeah, it's so freaking beautiful. Now, this is just the very beginning part. I have to make this 2 inches. I decided to do knit and purl, but hers is a little different, but it's not really any different to me. But yeah, I just like the knit and purl at the bottom of my wrist part, and the bottom layer is just like my go-to, you know? So it's gonna be a braided cable sweater. So yeah, I can't wait to actually start doing the braided cable like pattern so I can really see how these 2 colors look together. Okay, so yes, guys. So I haven't written down any notes or anything. It's just gonna flow through me as I'm speaking, because just as a black woman in general, I feel like I don't really need to like write down anything. I'm just speaking from my heart, you know, on this topic within itself. So when I started knitting in April of 2020, I've been watching a ton of videos. So YouTube helped me, and just being like consistent. and actually wanted to learn how to knit because it was in my heart to knit. And people tell me all the time, "You're so amazing. How did you learn how to do this so fast?" I always tell people YouTube helped me, and I have been so determined to get it right that I didn't give up. You know, because if something is not in your heart, it's not going to fall through. It's not going to follow through the correct way as you want it in your mindset, you know? So yes, guys, I have my laptop here because I have to post my new video that you haven't seen yet. So this is going to be my second one since I'm coming back. I've been gone for 2 months, and I appreciate everyone who has reached out to me. I know it's a good 5 or 6 of y'all. I love you so much, you know, because I really do miss making YouTube videos, you know. So as a black woman who knits, I don't really see any black woman who looks like me knitting. Now, there is black women who knit, but it's very rare that I find them. You know how Instagram or all these social platform, did I say that right? All these like social media platforms, they always push out other races besides like dark-skinned people, just black people in general, in my opinion, you know. So I always have to type in black knitters, black people who knit, dark skinned people who do this, da 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 da, you know, because on my For You page is nothing but Asians, whites, yeah, that's about it, you know. So I just always felt like I'm not like welcome in the knitting world, but the people who do follow me, they don't make me feel like that at all, you know. So yeah, everything starts from young, to, in my opinion, because nothing just comes from anything, you know. So, and you know what's so crazy? Like, even though I'm talking about this topic and stuff, how I feel about being a black woman who knits, nothing is gonna change. You know that, right? Like, that's the crazy part. Like, I'm expressing how I feel, and I'm just expressing myself on this topic, but I'm just talking because I know nothing's gonna change, unfortunately, because that's just how this world was created to be. Like, we can talk, we can do, we can talk about it on a podcast, we can march about it outside, but yeah, we're noticed, but we're not really noticed. But in the knitting world, I feel like I have to do more work than within the crocheting world. OD, because when I first got into knitting, all I would see is black girls doing this, black girls doing that. But then I said, hold on, let me learn where knitting actually comes from. Now, I have learned, I said this in my last video of like, my first video of this topic, is that knitting started up in Egypt, and it was these numbers, AD. I think it was like 1500 AD, something like that, you know. And it started up in different locations as well, but Egypt was the very first place where it came up. And it makes so much more sense. I mean, and it makes so much sense because if you think about it, Africa, we're just like created to like, we were just blessed with getting ideas and creating stuff from the top of our head without even like anybody helping us. It's kind of like God helping us through something, and then the outcome is very, very beautiful. And I think that's exactly the same thing with knitting, because people have to figure out a way to make clothes, you know. So I wonder what it actually looked like back in the day. I don't even think they have pictures of that. If I find a picture, I'm gonna put it like somewhere on the screen, because I never really thought about that. Like, what did their knitting tools look like back in the day? I'm pretty sure it's not much of a difference, but it would be cool if it is like a huge difference. So yes, y'all. Ooh, wrong way. So I cannot wait to finish this bottom layer so I can actually start the braided cable pattern. And yeah, and it's even like some girls, when I did mention like where knitting started, I felt, you know, it's so crazy. Like when you mention something about like black people and what we did and where our stuff come from, do y'all feel bad like mentioning in it? Like afterwards, like is that like a, what's the word, like is that like a manipulation thing or like gaslighting or like, cause y'all, I swear to you, like even after I made that first part of the video, I felt so bad. Isn't that crazy? I felt bad. Like even mentioning like how they always put us in the back, like how they always put us in the back seat and they're always in the front seat. But when everything started from us, black people, like I don't know, it's very, very interesting. I see it even on TV shows. Like it was this one show I was watching, and they mentioned, and they had like a black teacher. I think it was like a black music teacher, and this black music teacher was kind of like doing the same thing like as a white teacher would do to like black kids and stuff, like talking wise. And the black kids who was in like the classroom, they was like, why is he talking like this to them? He needs to stop. And it's just like, why do we feel bad? Maybe because we wasn't really created to like be that harsh towards them like they are towards us, you know? It's really, really interesting to think about, because y'all, I honestly feel bad like just making that video. Not everything that I said, but some stuff that I said is like, ooh, I should have said it this way, or I should have said it that way. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, tell me I'm not the only one who feels like this. When you mention about like different races who's not yours and you talk about them and then you start to feel bad about it, what is that? I feel like that's manipulation from like growing up and all this crazy stuff. Now, every time I come on here, I never really knit, but because I've been so like into the conversation, like, and y'all, I feel like I need like I have a table, but I feel like it's so low. I like setting it up high where you can see all of my cute stuff in my room. So yeah, I don't know. It's very, very weird. Like, that's one thing I noticed like recently, which is like, I feel like that's definitely manipulation and we don't even realize it, you know? Crazy. Did you ever think about that before? Wow. So yes, y'all, just continue doing what you love and don't care what anybody thinks, because that's how I went about knitting. Like, I feel like knitting is so cool. Of course, people call me a grandma about it. People call me old, but once they see what I knit, it's like, I'm what again? Oh, you want something from me now? You want me to make you something now? Get out my face. That's how I feel. Like, oh, now you see what I got going on. You want something? There was even like a reel where somebody had made a reel like laugh in the background and the person was calling the grandma. But yeah, I just feel like you just have to stay in your own community of what you're into and just be careful who you surround yourself with, honestly, because these people today are just don't have the best interests, you know? It's kind of like having like a low-key crazy person watching you and following you around and then see what you're going to do about it. And if you don't do anything about it, they're going to just take over of what you was trying to do. You know, they do that a lot too. They watch you, and then if you don't push forward with it, or you do push forward with it, they try to like manipulate the situation and they make it seem like it's theirs too from the beginning when it actually wasn't, you know. So yes, guys, we're just in a world where everything is getting much, much worse with like everything that's going on. And when it comes to the knitting community, I must say I would love to see more of my people follow me and we support each other and stuff like that. And we just have to do what we love and not worry about anybody else or anything else, because nothing is going to change within like certain things going on in this world. And when it comes to like white people, all of them is not bad. I'm telling you right now, it's all of them is not bad. But the majority of them who are bad, you just have to pretty much ignore them. It's kind of like when you have like a bad student or like a bad child who's acting out and want attention, but if they don't learn anything, you just have to let them be, you know, after a while of like trying to tell them and show them it's like, hey, I'm into the same thing you into, and what you want me to do? Find something else to do? No. We all have things that we love that's gonna be the same, and we're gonna have things that we like that's not gonna be the same, you know? You just have to live for you and don't worry about what other people think of you and stuff like that. Because I used to do that all the time to myself, like, oh my gosh, like, should I do this? Like, are they gonna like me if I do this? Like, why am I overthinking something that I want to do for other people? You know, I used to do that all the time, even before I even started knitting. Like, I used to be scared to like, not scared. I used to be like more so like shy to make videos and take pictures just because of the color of my skin. From growing up young with girl teasing me and everything, and you don't forget stuff. I feel like once you turn like 5, no, probably like 4 years old, you don't forget anything. So it's like everything your parents have told you in a mean way, or friends or family members, we don't forget that stuff, and vice versa. I'm pretty sure they don't forget anything that was bad said to them since young growing up. And I'm telling y'all, everything starts from young, okay? Everything starts from young. Honestly, truly. Because once we're growing up and trying to figure out who we are in this lifestyle of living, and then we have people crossing our way in a negative and a positive way, we don't forget any of that, because that's the time where you're figuring out who you are and who you want to be and who you want to be around, and this person is this way and this person is that way and stuff like that. So it's like when people say things are just like, when people say to you it's just words, it shouldn't hurt you. Words are very, very powerful, you know? And that's why I felt like they wasn't gonna like me. I wasn't gonna feel welcomed in the knitting world. From starting young, I've seen what they used to do and stuff like that. Now I have been teased from like people who do look like me because they feel like my hair was fake, my locks wasn't my hair, I was too quiet and stuff like that. One thing about me, if I'm quiet around you, it's for a reason. Like, I'm reading your energy and I'm seeing if I like it or not. But some people off the bat, when I'm around them, if your energy is good, I'm just going to be my natural self around you, you know? Of course, like, if I see you for the first time, it's going to take me some time to be my natural self around you. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Humans are very, very interesting, too. They will act deaf, dumb, and blind in a real quick second. You know? So, I would just say connect with people who you truly feel like that's going to be there for you and support you in what you're doing and stuff like that, because you don't want to overthink anything that you truly want to do. Even if you have like your friends and family members who's comes from the same race as you and they're putting you down and stuff, find other people to be around and you can connect with, because I always feel like when you find people who have the same interests as you, it's such like the best feeling in the world, you know, because you have so much to talk about and like much, much more, you know. It's kind of like when you're with another race, you don't really feel like 100% connected because y'all can't relate to a lot of the different things like growing up and stuff. So I watched this podcast of these 3 black men. I don't remember their podcast name. But the guy had mentioned, like, he was with this Asian girl, and I think they went out to eat or something, partying or something, and he got stopped by the cops and stuff. So the cops, like, you know how the cops do, they do, like, little extra steps and stuff like that. So they took him out the car, they was checking him and stuff like that, and the girl were just like, you know, standing there and not really doing anything. I guess because she didn't really know what to do. But he said to himself that in that moment I said to myself, he said that in that moment I said to myself, from here on out, I'm only going to date black women, because he didn't really feel like safe or like protected in a way when it comes to like cops stopping him and doing all this extra stuff. Because he said that they even was talking about it, having a conversation about it. She was like, well, you know, she didn't really know what to say, because she probably never even experienced like what he experienced before, even like was brought up into a world where, okay, these people are against you, so you have to do this, and you have to just protect yourself and not, like, you know, be harmful towards them, because they can do this, this, and this, and this, and this, because they have so much power, you know. And so he said, the fact that I couldn't even relate to this girl on this like harsh topic of being a black man, from here on out, I'm only gonna date black women, you know. And now he's with a black woman, and it's just like, it's just such like a different feeling when you're with the same race. Well, I can't really speak for other races, but when you're with someone who looks like you and have like the same like background of growing up and stuff like that, who you can relate to for more than like 10 things, you know, it's just such an amazing feeling. Like, inshallah, I am blessed with a beautiful black man, you know, because we all need that. Not all of us. Some of us. So yes, guys. Exactly how it is in the knitting community. I think I gave some good 3 examples. I must say. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yes, guys. That's exactly how it is in the knitting community. You want to relate to people who look like you. I mean, I'm not saying like all white people was like not relatable. I mean, the only thing we probably have in common is knitting. That's about it. But when it comes to like a black person, I could be wrong. Correct me if I am wrong. But when it comes to like more, I mean, when it comes to like meeting someone who knits and they look like you, oh, we have so much to talk about. You know, so much to talk about with the knitting and plus more. You know. Because when it comes to us, I don't know, it's just something beautiful, you know? So, I am happy to say that this is my first knitting, well, test knitting item, and I can't wait to finish, y'all. So, I'm going to keep you updated, of course, of where I'm at. And yeah, don't forget to follow me and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next one.